registration system. Maybe it needs to be connected with that. But I had hopes that at the least that if you were rejecting the amendments on the basis of their lack of sophistication, which I accept, but that if you accept the principle, that perhaps you could maybe offer something that shows that there's some way of arriving at this that means that you don't have somebody who's working as a nanny where a child welfare risk arises and they simply move to work in another home. I think that's dangerous and I think it's wrong, and I think it shouldn't be beyond the capabilities of this House to find a way of addressing it.
Senator van Turnhout.
I too tabled an amendment, Minister, on this issue to try and deal. I think the difficulty for me is it's the one big anomaly for me if we look at vetting and if we look at protection of children. And the Childcare Act 1991 distinguishes the three groups, and I think everybody is in agreement that the first group in Section 58A, where you're talking about relatives of the child or children or the spouse of such relatives, that is not the situations that we are talking about. We are talking about Sections B and C of Section 58 of the Childcare Act, which is a person taking care of one or more preschool children of the same family and no other such children in that person's home, or a person taking care of not more than 3 preschool children of different families in that person's home. Now, we know the figures that 92% of children are abused by either a direct family member, somebody known to the family, or somebody very trusted by the family. So for me, the fact that these children are being minded in a children's home actually is a high-risk group. And we need to explode this myth that it's stranger danger. The reality is the child is most likely to be abused by somebody known and trusted to the family. And, Minister, I agree. I think there's a big difference between the informal, occasional child-minding arrangement. But what we're talking about here, and maybe there's a better wording, what we're talking about here is where there is an arrangement, an ongoing arrangement for a monetary consideration to mind children. That, for me, is a transaction. It's an arrangement. And I listened carefully what you had to say, Minister. And I suppose I could use the same argument. Then we shouldn't actually vet any tennis coaches, because very often they're doing one-on-one training, and it's a private arrangement by the family to organise somebody to train their child in tennis. You know, I actually don't think the argument really does. I don't know why we are protecting this group. There's a sector that are unregulated. For me, you say the parents would have to vet. Why can't somebody have to become a member of a professional organisation? There's Childminding Ireland, Early Childhood Ireland. Why can't those organisations vet on behalf of the parents and ensure? So there are ways around this. For me, the reality is it's just that actually for parents to know that the person minding their child in their home, not in a public place, not somewhere that other people can interact, but in a person's home, that this person has been vetted. This is a high-risk group, in my opinion, and that's why I try to put down an amendment. I don't say it's a perfect amendment. I'm happy with whatever amendment can be dealt with to deal with this issue, but I feel it's an anomaly that needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Mr. Mooney.
Yeah, I'm somewhat disappointed with the Minister as well. And in order to be helpful to the Minister, I think that the argument has been made quite clear, Minister, relative to your response. This isn't about personal inter-family arrangements or neighbours. This is about those who, for reward, specifically set up childminding service and who are paid and who may